Well, Korea is moving on in the World Baseball Classic. They take down Australia in a thrilling game to punch their ticket to the quarterfinals. Plus, we talk NFL free agency, a bunch of really great WBC coverage. It's been a fun weekend of sports news, and it's going to be another fun week as the World Baseball Classic continues, as NFL free agency is heating up, as the NBA and NHL seasons are wrapping up, and it's March Madness. It's almost time for the NCAA tournament, and we have a ton of college basketball stuff happening this week as well. So this is going to be a really fun week of sports as we kick off one of the greatest stretches of sports we've had in a while. But first, let's talk about the World Baseball Classic, and specifically, let's talk about the Korean team that just clinched their spot just earlier this morning. I was fortunate enough to wake up to watch part of this game as South Korea taking down Australia with the exact amount of runs that they needed, right? The way it works, if Korea had won, and they did, it would have been a three-way tie at 2-2 between Australia, Taiwan, and Korea. And the way it works with the tiebreaker is it depends on how many runs you've allowed within those three games. And so for Korea to move on, they needed to win by at least 5 runs. That's the way it worked. Or else Korea needed to score 7 runs. Or else Australia would have allowed fewer runs because Australia shut out Taiwan. So Australia had the advantage there. Korea needed to score at least 7 runs, but they couldn't score 8. Because if they scored 8, then Taiwan would have won. If Korea had won 8-3, that is. And if Korea had won 8-2, they would have won. But they needed to win by at least 5, and Australia couldn't score more than 3. So the only way Korea could have won was if it had been 5-0, 6-1, 7-2. That's it. Or, 6 or 6-0, 7-0, 7-1. There's like 5 possible scores for Korea to win. Anything higher than that goes to Taiwan. Anything lower than that goes to Australia. So Australia gets in an early hole. Korea scores 2 runs in the second, courtesy of a Bo Gyung-moon home run, his second of the tournament. And then in the third, Jung-hoo Lee with an RBI double to score 2 runs. That makes it 4-0. Then you get to the 5th inning. Korea scores again. You got Bo Gyung-moon again with another RBI. And then Australia finally strikes. It's Robbie Glendening who hits a home run to make it 5-1. 6th inning, Korea makes it 6-1 as Do Young Kim with an RBI single to score Dongwon Park. So it's 6-1 Korea. They're thinking, okay, that's great, because 6-1, that's one of the few scores that does advance you, right? That's one of the few scores that works. But then, immediately from there, here comes Australia. Bottom of the 8th inning, Max Durrington is on base, and here comes Travis Bazana, who has one of the greatest RBIs in Australian baseball history, as he drives in the second run of the game. So Australia is still down by 4. It's 6-2. But it doesn't matter, because if you're down 6-2, you're moving on. Korea needs to add that 7th run, or else Australia, despite losing by 4, they would end up moving on to the quarterfinals for the second year in a row, and Korea would miss it for the 4th tournament in a row. So Korea knew exactly what they needed to do, right? They knew exactly what they needed to do. They needed to score 1 run in the top of the 9th and then not allow anything in the bottom of the 9th. So here they come, top of the 9th, and it's Hyun Min An who hits a sacrifice fly to score the winning run to make it 7-2. That would not have happened unless Australia had not made an error. That's right, Australia made a throwing error with 1 out and 1 on. I guess it was their second baseman, I believe, or their shortstop. It was their shortstop, Jared Dale, 25-year-old shortstop for Australia, makes a throwing error, and that ultimately cost his team, not the game, they would have already lost, but it cost his team the ability to move on to the quarterfinals. I'm gutted for Australia, but I'm very excited for this South Korean team. This is a talented Korean roster. They've got, I believe, 5 major league players on this roster. And a lot of really, really great KBO guys on that roster as well. I do think Korea is a top 8 country for baseball in the world, so I'm happy that they get to move on. I'm happy that they get to qualify. They will finish 2nd place in Pool D. Japan, of course, currently undefeated. They are going to finish 1st place in Pool D, and they take on Czechia later tonight, and they are most likely going to win that game to be 4-0. But yeah, really good stuff for Korea. I'm really pumped for them. It would have been crazy to see if they had missed the tournament, the quarterfinals, for the 4th straight tournament. That would have been really devastating And we may have had to have that conversation about the state of Korean baseball. But the fact that they won, they move on, and now they're going to have an opportunity to pull off another upset. I shouldn't say upset. I mean, Korea hasn't pulled off an upset yet. They beat Australia, who they should have beaten. They beat Czechia, who they should have beaten. And they lost to Taiwan, which I think that was an upset for Taiwan. But all that to say, good for Korea. They are moving on.